Let's see. Let's see which colors I'm gonna use. Get my clean brush here. Let me get me some monomer. We're gonna try the YoungNails Extreme Low Odor Liquid and Powder System. And hopefully I have enough. Oh, there's something in here. Let me get that out. Weird. That's strange. Okay. All right. Let's flip that like that. I don't want to look at stuff. All right. Get my brush nice and liquefied here. All right, let's see what these colors look like. So I'm going to start with the nude powder. I haven't decided yet what color I want to do on my nails, and I haven't even looked at these colors, so this will be our first time. Okay, let's see what the nude looks like. Oh, I like the nude a lot. It's very, it's got a pink hue to it, but it does look nude. I like that. There you go. Okay, that might be my favorite one so far. That might be the one I'm going with. Let's see. Let's do sheer pink, which I don't think I want to use a sheer, honestly, because I still have prior product on my nails that I didn't feel comfortable getting all the way off with the e-file, just because my nails are so thin. Just naturally, my nails are really thin, so I like to leave a little bit of that prior product on there. Let's see though what the sheer looks like. Oh yeah, it's pretty sheer. Oh, and it's pretty light too. It's got a lot of purple to it. That pink does. Okay, I don't think I want to go with that one, so let's kind of put that out the way. We got a clear, which we know kind of how clear is, but we'll shake it up because we'll probably use it. We have a bright white. Let's see what their bright white looks like. Probably, I don't know, I would think they would have more of an extreme white for, or a title like that for something that was extremely white, but let's see. Yeah, it's kind of a normal white. See? Yeah. Okay, I won't be using that today because we're going to keep it real simple. I'm just going to kind of do a nude, longer nail. This one is bright pink powder. It's not sheer, so it's more of a solid. Okay, let's see what this one looks like. Honestly, I do smell a little bit on this low odor system, but it's not anything, annoying or anything I would think that people would have a problem with. Okay, I definitely like the nude, so I'm gonna go with that today. All right, so let me get my clear first. I'll get my nude ready. Let's put our monomer over here. And yeah, we're gonna do a little layer of clear first. Let me get this off of here. And we'll use this later when we get to our nail art part. I'm gonna do some bright nails today. I'm gonna use my dominant hand to do this hand over here, because I always like to start with my dominant one because I'm just better at it. And we're gonna build our nail, and hopefully, so it's real early here in Texas. It's probably about 6:30 if I had to guess, 6:45 it looks like. So it's really early. I have my window open, so as the sun comes up, we should get a little bit more lighting in here. I kind of have to keep it a little dark because I'm allergic to light. So for my body, I try to keep it a little dark in this room. I'm just using my acetone to just kind of go around and clean off my nail. I've already sanded it, so, and I've washed my hands earlier this morning, so everything is nice and clean, cleaned up under the free edge. You'll see some white on my nails. That's actually not my nails. That's from the prior product that I had on. It was a white gel, and I just didn't take all of it off. I kind of took it down to where I started to fill the file, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna stop right there. I'll go ahead and clean this one as we're going. After I do my dominant one, I'm gonna do my non-dominant one, or vice versa, I guess. I'm gonna work with my dominant first and then my non-dominant. Okay, so let's get that out the way. Let's put our form on. I love creating with forms personally. I just do better. And what I like to do when I'm doing myself, I go ahead and get my form ready. So I'm just gonna kind of bend it just a little bit, like right around where it should be bent, just to kind of get it used to that bend. I like to work with more sturdy forms for myself, well, and on others actually as well. Okay, then I'm just gonna line up these tabs. I'm a little shaky this morning for some reason. Okay, then I'm just gonna fit this. Sometimes I have to kind of bend it out a little bit just to kind of get it under my free edge. Okay, then I'm just gonna just gently kind of tuck it. Then I wanna try to get this middle line. Let's see, this middle line, let me see if I can show you. Right there it is. I'm gonna try to get it middle line with my nail and middle line with my knuckle, okay? So that's pretty good. Then when I look at it sideways, my nails are gonna dart up just a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of gently pull it down just ever so slightly to try to help with that upwards slope that mine's gonna do. Can you tell it's just barely going down a little bit? That's how I like it, okay? Then I want it to be so that when I'm looking at it, you know, it doesn't extend any further than my natural nail bed. So I'm going to, it's kind of hard doing it in this direction, but let's see if we can. I'm gonna kind of start to shut this down. Oh, I can probably do it better from this angle on myself. Okay, I'm just gonna slowly start to shut this down just a little bit. Sometimes when I'm doing myself, I start to get, as I shut it down, I start to get my form just like ever so slightly not even. Because when you shut it, it's just kind of hard when you're doing yourself. But yeah, I'm just gonna shut it and try to keep that shape, you know, as to the center as I can and make sure it's still going downwards. Okay, and I'm comfortable with that. So let's see. I feel like it's going just like the slightest bit off to this direction. So let me, there we go. Okay, that's much better for me. Okay, let's get our clear powder ready. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's get our clear ready. So for my clear, I'm just gonna use the clear mainly to cover the top of my nail, kind of create what shape we're gonna go with, which I think I'm gonna do a coffin because I need to work on my coffins. And then to connect, of course, my regular nail, and then build a little bit back here. And then, so it's gonna be really thin. So let me just, I'm gonna dip in my powder, drag off, and then let's go 1, 2, 3. So I'm working with small beads, okay? And I'm working with small beads mainly because I am not great with my acrylic. So as you're gonna see here in a second. This is just one of the areas. I think because I love gel so much, I'm just not as great with the acrylic. So I like to work on myself in small beads. That way I don't get overwhelmed. And I like to keep it really thin and then build on it as I go. So I'm just gonna, I've connected it. I like how thin it is here. Let me go ahead and go back in and get some more liquid, clean off my brush, and then I'm just gonna smooth it out. I'm gonna smooth it out this way. It's pretty thin though. Make sure I check my sides, and they're where I at least want them. They're just barely touching that surface there. We are gonna build longer, so I'm just gonna kind of prepare this part. Okay. Drag off. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna get a little bit bigger bead, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and set this down, clean my brush off, and let me start patting this back just a little bit. I wanna go ahead and connect a little bit further back this way. Okay, bring that down. Just, we're gonna flatten it out. Make sure I check my sides. Check my side over here. Let's thin it out, stretch it out. Clean up my side. I need to clean my brush. Okay. So if you can see, we're keeping this part really, really thin. Like back here. Let me see if I can show you. So this connection is super duper thin. We still have a ways to go to build this because I'm keeping it real thin so I can really control it. Okay, drag off. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I still want to come out a little bit longer. I want to come to about here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, brush off, and flatten it out. Let's go ahead and brush this back. That just kind of helped to create it to be a little bit thicker, it looks like. So I really didn't get it to extend, did I? Or at least not too much. Let's keep dragging here. Keep this line where we need it. Let's pull. Okay, keep it even. Keep it even, okay. Now I'm gonna go backwards with my bead this time. So I'm gonna brush off 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna put it down to the part where I want it to go. And then we're just going to connect. I'm going to flatten, because it's okay if it goes a little bit longer than we want it. Flat. Let's keep our little line here. Flat. Push it up. Flat. Push it up. Flat. Push it up. All right, now I'm just gonna re-wet my brush, clean it off, and I'm just going to swipe it up. Just brush it out thin, straight. Make Sure that wants to be straight and this wants to be straight. Okay, all right. Now let's go ahead, since we've got that working, let's go ahead and take a bead. And I'm gonna put this one right here and do the same thing. So just let's stretch it out. Let's get it right to the side there. Go over right to the side here. And let's go ahead and drag this down. Make that part a little bit stronger. And then flat, flat, flat. I don't need it real flat here because that's where our apex is gonna be. But we're gonna go ahead and clean my brush. Let's drag, drag, drag. Drag, drag, drag. And flat, flat, flat. Okay. Now we can see there's a pretty good little hump there. And I'm okay here because I'm just gonna put a colored product here. All right, let's drag, drag, drag again. Just all the way down. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm wetting this part right here because that's where my next bead's gonna go. Okay, so let's get our brush wet, drag it off. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna do 3 because I want this part to be real thin anyway. Kind of clean your brush off. And at a 45-degree angle, I'm going to just lay this up against the back part of my nail. Clean, clean, and let's clean this up. Drag, 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 drag. Okay, so now we have, I'm gonna put a bead right here just to make sure I've got that covered. I'm sure I do, but I'm just gonna do a real little bead right here and drag. Okay, just to make sure that side, and since that side was that way, I'm gonna assume this side's gonna be the same. So a little bitty bead. I'm gonna put it right here and drag. And it looks like I missed a little bitty spot right there, I'm assuming. Maybe. Tiny, tiny bead. Okay. So you can see it's super duper thin, right? But at least I've got my shape going. My length is covered down here. Make sure it doesn't go that far down. My length is covered over here. Okay, so it's gonna go to right about here. So it's a lot longer than my actual nail. So I just need to be sure I'm build in the curve, the apex, all that good jazz. And we can even go ahead and get my pinching tool because, let's see, yeah, it's still tacky, but we'll be ready here in a minute to pinch. All right, and let me go ahead. I'm gonna do my thumb completely before I get started on my other fingers, but I'll do 2 fingers at a time once I get going. Thumb I like to do separate. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get our nude color, shake it up. All right. Let's get this mixed up here good and flattened. All right, so I'm gonna try, I know I have a teeny tiny brush. This is just what I like to work with. Let's go in and try to get a little bit bigger bead. Okay, let's let it polymerize a little bit, get a little slick looking. Starting to get slick, okay. Put it here. I'm gonna go ahead right away and flatten it out because I wanna go ahead and get that monomer going in this nail. And by doing this, you're pushing that monomer into the powder. Okay, we're gonna keep our sides. Let's try to keep this pretty flat. Flatten it out. Press, press, press. And normally I would have cleaned my brush, but because I kind of waited to set that bead down, I know it's going to polymerize fast. Here, I'm going to clean it now. Okay, I'm going to keep it pretty wet. I'm going to squeeze some of that brush out when I pat like this. Let me try to stretch this out a little bit. Flatten, flatten, flatten. And I'm using kind of this part of my brush to flatten because I need a little bit more pressure. Okay, drag, drag, drag. All right, so we got one on there. So we got it connected pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and lay this right here. We can flatten, flatten, flatten. Let's go ahead and pull this back. Pull it back over here to get it connected. I'm going to point my finger down just a wee. Okay. Just keep pat, press, and pull, pat, press, pull. When it feels like it starts to get a little chewy, you see how it's kind of stretchy? That means you need to clean your brush and just kind of re-wet and then come back to it. So just flat, flat, flat. Make sure it's not getting carried away over here on the sides. I feel like it needs a little bit right in here. So I'm gonna go ahead. I did dipped into it 3 times. Now I'm just gonna let it kind of sit for a second. And then I'm just gonna go right into pulling it down. Now I'm gonna line it up. Flatten it out. Okay, let's smooth, smooth, smooth. The more I can keep it smooth and just kind of pulled and pressed, and the easier it's going to be for me to file in that shape. I'm going to go ahead and put in just the smallest little bead again right in here. And just kind of flatten it and pull it. Okay, now let's do our next bead. We're going to give it a minute. Okay. And another one back here. Go in at a 45-degree angle. Just spread this across. And pull. already see where I need to add a little bit right back there. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add the tiniest bit. Let's see where this gets us. And pull it over. Okay. So we've got to work on this shape a little bit better here, right? Because it's a little wonky. I'm gonna go ahead and just right on top, build a bit of a better apex and drag this down. Smooth that out. Okay. And then right in here. Whoop, I didn't wait long enough. Let's add this right in here. Just gonna pull down, pull down. Okay, so I've got a good apex in there. That'll work for me. And then of course the rest we're gonna shave in here. I'm gonna put another one right here. Smooth it out. All right, I can work with this shape because I'm gonna go shorter here, like to this line. So let's go about there. And then the rest I can definitely shave in place. Now we're just gonna let this kind of dry up here for a minute. Once it gets ready, we'll pinch it. But yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Okay. Let's wipe this off. All right. Keep that brush nice and clean. And keep its shape. Okay. Let's cover this up for a minute. We're gonna let this kind of sit. Now, I personally am not gonna use my, my protein bond, my dehydrator, and my primer. I'm not gonna use those actually today because these are nails that I'm not gonna be keeping on for very long. So since I'm always like changing my shape and stuff, I just try to like avoid using these if I can. That way they're a lot easier for me to get off personally. So I'm not gonna worry with that today. We're just gonna let it dry. We used alcohol, that should be enough. Now, if you notice, let me show you this. I don't have a whole lot of product butted up against my cuticle. I actually want it that way because I want it to be very seamless. So that'll just make it easier for me to, I mean, there is product on there, but it'll just make it easier for whenever I shape that for myself. But definitely if you want your nails to last, don't forget to use your dehydrator, your primer, and then you can go in with protein bond if you like to use that. Let's see. Okay, it's still pretty wet. Just keep letting it dry up here. We'll go ahead and get our next finger ready though. Let's do that. Okay, again, I just like to keep it like this. I'm going to line these up. Go ahead and get those pinched. Just get that little shape kind of rocked in there a little bit. That would be a lot easier for you to keep it straight. Then I'm just gonna kind of bow it out. Let me get these sides undone here. Okay, kind of bow it out to make it a little bit bigger. Get it fit under your nail in the center where you need it. Let me see here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then I'm gonna, because my nails kind of dart up a little bit, I'm just gonna kind of rock this down just a bit like that. Then let me get this positioned and we'll start closing it. Let's see if it looks, yeah, that looks good to me. Okay. Let's close it just a little bit more in here. All right, so let's go back in with our clear. Let me fill this real quick because I don't want to miss our opportunity to pinch. Okay. All right, let's go in with our clear. We'll get our brush wet. Okay, let it kind of polymerize. Let's move this out the way. Okay, then we're going to spread this out. Make sure you've got it where you're connecting. And then flatten, flatten, flatten a little bit. Okay, mine's getting a little sticky, so I need to clean my brush. Come back at it. Flat, 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 pull. Get my sides lined up. Get it thin. It's getting a little tacky again, so let me get it wet. Pull and thin it out. Just pull real gently and flatten. Then we can go bring it back just a little bit. Okay, let's do it a little bit longer. Let me check this one again. Okay, it's still tacky, so I wonder how long this no smell stays workable. Let's see, let's let that, I kind of did it a little bit too early, huh? Flat, 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 and pull it down. Get it lined back up. Pull it down, line it back up. Pull it down. I can't remember how far I did the other one. I'll have to check here in a second. We'll count. I think I came down though pretty far. Okay, let's see. I went down to the 6, and here I'm almost at the 6, so that's pretty good. So when we make it a little bit firmer, we'll work on dragging that down a little bit more. Okay, there. Now let's check this again. You know what? It's still tacky, but I think it feels good. So let's get this in here. I'm going to kind of press on it because we kind of waited a little bit. Okay, let me get that on there better. Well, it keeps wanting to pop off over here. That's kind of where I need it. Okay. Just gonna bend that in a little bit. Let's see if I can leave that on there. I don't know if I can or not. Let's see. All right, let's try it. All right, let's get another bead. we're gonna lay it right here. You want to keep the majority on the top of your nail, the majority of that bead, so when you're stretching it out, if you can just stretch out just enough to be sure to cover your side, but keep the majority on the top, because you know in the end you're going to want your sides thinner anyway, and you're going to want that, like the more the apex part, to be on the top. And I feel like I need a little bit more right in here. Let's just make sure it's connected. Wipe it out. We'll do this part too. Just a little bit more. Just to thin them out, and then wipe. All right, I'm good with that. Okay. Now let's do the back part. Let's get a little bit more. All right, we're gonna let it sit up for a second. Clean my brush. And then let's go in at that 45-degree angle and start to spread this across. When you get to the side, you can go ahead and drag it down. Drag down this side. And wipe the top. Let's re-wet it and clean it. And press that out. Clean up your sides. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add the slightest bit at the tip, just because I knew, remember we went down to the 6 on the other one, which this one is right at the 6, but just to make sure I get it. Well, let me try to get that out of the way. All right, let's pull this back. And let's just go like this. Okay, now let's let that set. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Hopefully it got it where it needed to be got. I'm just gonna press that a little hard. Okay. Now that we've got the bottom layer to this one, let's get that closed up and off to the side and get our nude. Let me get this powder flattened out. All right, let's get after this again. So wet your brush, drag, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, my brush is extremely small. I think it's an 8 if I'm right. Whoop. So that was a little dry, so let's go ahead and work with it. I'm gonna press some of this juice in here. I'm gonna go ahead and work fast with this one because it's already wanting to set up. I'm gonna keep this pretty wet. Okay, let's pull it down as far as we can. Pull, pull, pull. Flat, flat, flat. Okay, my sides look all right. Just keeping them kind of straight. Let's put this one right here. Let's flatten this out. drag it down. Flat. Okay, let's get it wet again, and let's go ahead and flat, flat, flat. So we can see it's pretty uneven, huh? Like I said, I'm not great with acrylic, because this is why I practice. All right, let's try this again. We're gonna go right back over what we just did. 3, 4. I'm not gonna wait for it to set up because this is going pretty fast. Okay, let me point my finger down would help. And it's starting to run. Just keep it back up there. Keep it back up there. Okay, pat, pat, pat it out. Oh, it's getting tacky already. Maybe the slow monomers, maybe the low odor monomer system works a little bit different. Okay, it's all right though. We're gonna be all right. Let's go ahead and try to smooth it out. At least when you're working with small beads, you've got room, right? Because it's easy to make it thicker. A little bit harder when you have to reduce and spend so much time with your e-file. Okay, let's just keep it somewhat easy to work with here. Okay. Keep the shape easy. Don't let it get completely out of control. Feel like we need a little bit. Wow, that was a yucky bead. Hang on. I'm going to put a little bit right here, but I'm going to, once it starts to set up, I'm going to keep most of it coming towards the top of the nail, but I did want a better line here to work with. Okay. I'm gonna still make it a little bit thicker in through here. Just right in here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, this is doable. Okay, keep that up there. Okay, now let's go on the nail part. Let's get my brush wet. About like that. Let's go ahead and put this here. Push it across. Push it across. We can drag it down here. We can drag it down over here. I'm going to go ahead and re-wet. Clean my brush. And pull it over. Okay. Now let's do the very, very back part. Okay. Let's give it a minute to set up here. Put it there. Let's go at a 45-degree angle. push that across. You get it over here, we're going to start to drag it down. Drag it down. And over. All right, and I do see this little clear spot here. I'm going to go ahead and cover that up. Just with a tiny little bead. Okay, this I can work with. All right. I'm comfortable with that. Maybe just one more through here. Just gonna kind of keep it wet. Okay, I can work with that. All right, so let that set up. What is that? All right, so while that's setting up, I kind of want to check this out, but you know what? It's kind of tacky. That's strange to me, but I'm going to, let's do this. Let me take this off because I want to know what's going on already because I have never worked with this low odor system before. So I'm going to go ahead and use my acetone. Let's clean this off. It feels really tacky. Like it's not curing. It's very strange. It's still tacky. That's interesting. Would it really still be trying to set up? That's so odd to me. I mean, it's been a while. That's still really tacky. Okay, before I do any more nails, we're gonna see how this is turning out because what if this takes like an hour to set up or something? That's no good. But you know, honestly, like had I used my regular product that I normally use, it would not be tacky like this right now. So that's concerning. Let's see if it will pinch anymore. I don't feel it really pinching anymore. It's just tacky on top. Let's put some more acetone and see what happens. I don't like that, I can say that much. It's still sticky. I don't know, guys. This, I mean, honestly, the fact that it's still sticky would kind of do it for me. But, I mean, would do it in the sense that I wouldn't want to use it because that's going to take a really long time. Ooh. Yeah, let's let this. Well, since that's still tacky now, I don't know if it's going to be. Let's go ahead and use this. See if we can make sure and get her as narrow and with a C curve as we can. I don't really feel it giving though, honestly. It's just sticky. Let me leave that on there. How about that? And it's sliding. Let's see. Okay, let's leave that on there. Let me grab my file. Here we go. I'm going to kind of play around with this and see if we can get to like an underlayer that's a little bit not sticky. But as for right now, I don't like that. I mean, it's been a long time. It should have been dry by now. Let me move stuff out the way here. Make sure my brush is out the way so we don't get any dust on anything we don't want dust on. Let's see if I can just kind of set that out the way. Okay, let me use the 100 side. Let's see if it has like a tacky layer on top maybe that you have to get through. I kind of do need to move my finger around, so I'm going to take this off. Okay, let's see. And I'm starting out by doing it on top only because I want to see if, is it a tacky layer that you got to kind of get through? I don't know. We're going to find out though. I would need to file this part anyway, so. Over the top a little bit. I do see that tacky layer coming off though. I'm going to switch to the finer side. I kept this pretty thin. And I'll get my e-file here in a second too. Okay, let me shape up this. Let me hold my finger a little bit better. Kind of can't see. These sides a little even. Let's see what we're working with. Okay. Well, it did make it a little drier. Okay, let's refine the shape here with the file. I need to grab my e-file. So I've got a good apex in there. Got it nice and thin because we're going to do nail art too. I feel like it's a little bit more thick over here. Okay, let me grab my e-file real quick and we'll do this back part and then we'll buff it out. Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and take this taking this form off so I can work a little bit better. Okay, hang on. Okay, I had my e-file right outside the door. All right. I'm just going to turn it on 3. And I used the same, it's just the fine sanding band. I used it earlier to get my product off. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to dust this off and just see what I'm working with. Okay, we'll use that. Where's my little brush duster? Here we go. Okay. Let's get our ass. Oh, it feels much better. Okay, it's not so tacky. All right. That's good to know. Still though, I need a little bit more product here. And I think a little bit more product here, honestly. I am going to cover it with the clear in the end, but I don't want see-through parts. So let me go ahead though. Oh, it's on reverse. Let me go ahead and just make sure this part is smooth and flat. I like where my apex is. Just gonna refine this since I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more here. I'll go ahead and get what I need to. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and come at it this way. Come at it this way. Just kind of make a U around this part. And then I do want to, I can tell it's a little higher right through here, which will be fine once we have our clear, but since we're going to do nail art, I can just kind of, I know this is kind of a strange angle, but for me, for doing myself, this is kind of what works. And I can really look down that barrel and see exactly where I need to go. And then from the side, I'm just going to, it's right in here. It's got a pretty big dip going up. Okay, let's thin this part out. I like that apex though. It's just kind of come. You see how when we get down here, there's a pretty big dip. Let's see, let's come at it this way again. And this part really doesn't need to be any flatter right now. But I do want it to be a tad bit more even. Okay, I can work with that. I'll take my apex down just a bit. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me get my, all right. Let's brush this off. So now me personally, not everybody does this, but I like to, as I'm going along in my process, I like to go ahead and make sure my shape is good. I've got the thickness I want everywhere, which like I said, I don't right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of thickness, just right here where it's a little see-through-y. Oh, it's so tacky. I don't like that. All right, let's get just a little bit in here. Just gonna work with it really wet. I don't need to add a lot, just a little bit. I do want it to be coming back here though pretty nicely, so I don't have a whole lot to file. Okay, let's do a tiny bit more right here. I'm gonna give it a second to kind of set up. I don't want there to be like a real bad definition line where you can see where I've kind of fixed stuff or not. So let's drag that like that. Let it sit up for a second. You know what? I see like a little bit of see-through parts here too. You know, I'm not crazy about this particular product, I have to say. It's still a little see-through. All right. Let's add a little bit more through here. I can still see through it here. Come this way with it. I can still see through it. All right, let's try this again. I'm gonna keep it pretty wet. Just drag it out. I just definitely want there to be enough product. Like I said, I am gonna clear cap it, but okay, let's see how this does. Maybe one more tiny bit right through here. Whoop. Okay. Uh-oh, we got something in there. Uh-oh. Shoot. Okay. Smooth it out, smooth it out. All right, I think that's good for now. Then we're gonna reshape it here in a second and then do our nail art. Well, actually, let me fix this right here because it still left a little indentation. Okay. That should be enough for us to work with. Let me do. Okay. All right, I'm ready to move on, guys. Finally. All right, let's work with this one, see what we're working with. I don't like the tackiness of it, and honestly, this might be, I may just do these two nails with this, and then we may switch to one of the products that I really like to work with, because I'm not crazy about this particular acrylic. All right, let's go ahead. Yuck. Okay. Let me go ahead, I'm just gonna reuse this one. Let's dry this off. Yuck, it's still tacky. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the tackiness. It's gross. And then it starts to get hairs stuck on it and stuff. And then it gets, you know, on your fingers, and then that gets hair on it and yuckies. Okay. Here, let's see. Let's shape these up a bit. I'm not the best at filing on myself. I try though. It's kind of hard to keep it real even for me. Okay, let's try this way. I'm gonna hold it as best I can. Just come straight out from that side wall. Let's line that up a little bit better. Okay. Let's get the tip maybe just a little bit better. I don't want to go too hard at the tip yet. Just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Yucky, this stuff. Yeah, I definitely don't like the tackiness of this. It's gross. Okay, let's go after this part. Let me hang on to it. Come around the back here. best I can with the file. Okay, try to give it some support. Yuck, that tackiness is just all over. Don't like that. End up taking too much off with that higher speed here. I mean, the higher grit. Okay, let's try to come at it from this way. I'm going to switch to my e-file here in a second. Yeah, I'm taking a lot off. Trying to get the tackiness off. Ooh. Okay, let's grab my e-file here in a sec. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the e-file. Well, I say that and then I start doing it again. Okay, hang on. All right. I'm just gonna, again, keep my e-file on a real low speed, like a 3. Oh wait, I gotta clean it off first, see what I'm working with. Okay. Get the dusties out everywhere. Okay. Keep it on a 3, or at least I am. I'm gonna go ahead and get, this is pretty thick through here. Okay, I want this to look pretty smooth, so still kind of coming in that horseshoe shape. Okay, come over my apex just a bit. Let's see how bad this is. Oh, pretty bad. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna look at it down the barrel. Hang on a second here. If I get out of the screen for a second, which I'm gonna try not to, but if I do, I'm sorry. Okay, that tip is extremely thin. Let's come at this a little bit back over here. This needs to be a little bit more seamless. Oh, and I probably need to put a bead here. Because I don't like the rim that is around my cuticle area. Just gonna kind of move slower. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but it's like not so great right through here. Let's see if you can tell. Here, let me go down a little bit more. Maybe that'll be easier for you to see. Now I'm going to add another bead, of course, because that's what I like to do. Let me get this more straight. Once I feel like I get the shape in here that I want, then I'll kind of apply those little beads. Okay. feel like that's good. Okay, let's get this done. Let's take a look at it, see what damage we did with the heat file. All right. Let's dust her off. I mean, she's a pretty shape. It's just, we just need to even her out. All right, let me get a little napkin here. She's still a little tacky. I hate that. Yuck. All right, yeah, we definitely need to apply some more. Look at the thin spots. I don't like that at all. Okay, let's try to fix her back up again. Oh gosh, and this one's got hair like all over it. Eeks. I'm glad we only did a couple nails with this particular solution mix here, because I don't like it too much. All right, let's do this again. Okay, let's go across, keep it at that 45-degree angle. Go across and pull it down. Ooh, it's really sticky. I don't like this. Yeah, I don't know, guys. For me, I know I've seen other people talk about how much they really like this particular low odor system. I'm not a fan. And I love YoungNails, don't get me wrong. I really do love YoungNails, but one system, if you really do need some odorless, one system that I would recommend that you do check out is going to be the C&D odorless. And C&D is actually, it's not low odor, it's odorless. It is unlike any other odorless system that I've ever used. It's really, it is really truly odorless, and then it's just a really good system. I love it. I used it when I did my testing, because here where I am, you truly have to have odorless for testing. It can't be like low odor or anything, it has to be odorless. So I used the C&D for my testing, and it was fabulous. Like, I don't know that I could have picked a better product to use for testing. It just works really well. It doesn't work like your regular odorless. This is really bad over here. Hopefully I can fix this. Get it up against my cuticle just a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, I highly recommend it. If you haven't tried it, definitely give it a whirl, because it really works, and it also has great adhesion. And I haven't really used a lot of C&D products. That's, let me think if that's the only one I've used. Possibly. Oh, I do not like this one, guys. Okay, while that one's setting up, I'm gonna go ahead and come back to this one and let's clean it up. And I'm not gonna use this anymore because I don't like the way it's coming out. Pretty color though, I do like the color of it, I just don't like how it's performing. So, let's clean this off. Yuck. It's just terribly sticky. And I feel like to get it down to where it's not sticky, you have to take off a lot. Okay. I don't want to shave off a whole lot because we know the problem was that it was too thin. But I do want to get it down to a shape I like. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's go after it with the file. Okay, actually, I'm just gonna do the buffer. Where's my buffer? Let me get this buffer. Okay, let's just buff at it. And try to get it nice, even. Get my side nice. Tip nice. Actually, this could use a more firm file. Let's give it a firm file first. Okay. Now let's go into this. And I'm just gonna kind of come around like that horseshoe. As long as I keep my filing kind of like a horseshoe shape, I feel like I do pretty well. And then for my apex, I like to be able to see it. See how you can definitely see it? I like that. So I know some people like just a really nice, really thin apex. And I guess if you were doing like a real natural nail, that would be fine. That's not kind of what I'm going for. So I'm gonna get after this little corner right here with my e-file. There. And you know what? Oh, I know I don't want to take off too much through here, but let's go ahead and try. Okay, I like that a lot. All right. I'm gonna get the tip one more time. Just because I want it real nice and straight. Okay, I like that. Looks good. All right. Let's see, just because I'm curious. I'm gonna see kind of how it buffs up and shines, okay? So let's do smooth and shine. Let's see, I don't really know which side to do first. Let me see if I can tell. Okay, this side's a little rougher, so I'm gonna do this side first. I've never actually smoothed and shined my nails before. But since we're working with this new product, let's see how it does. Ew, I don't know about that. Let's see if we do the white side, see what it does. I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just not good at it. I mean, it looks like a little shiny in places, but not everywhere. Ugh, it feels still tacky. How crazy is that? Huh. Okay, I'm gonna get this out the way. I don't want to keep picking up dust. Okay, let's go like this. All right, I'm gonna clean this off again with the acetone. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. Okay, now let me show you what we're gonna do with the nail art. How about that? It's still a little tacky. Ugh. Yeah, I wouldn't want to work with that. That's just me personally. All right, let me show you what I'm gonna do with the nail art here. Let me find my products. Oof, look how yucky, guys. I need to shape this one up anyway, and then we'll do the nail art. Gross. Okay, let me get my brush out the way because I don't want it to get product. keep my side straight, my front straight. Okay, now let's come around here with this. Try to get rid of this tackiness. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, guys. I really wanted to like this particular no odor, or low odor, sorry, low odor, but I don't. Okay, let's get after it with my e-file. Oh, let's do still a low setting. I like to take my glasses off when I work with my e-file because I can see better actually without my glasses. This definitely needs to come down because that's a really yeah, that apex is too high back here. Okay, let's come back at it in that U shape. Just keep doing this U around. And again, if I get off of camera, I do apologize. I'm still in it though, right? Okay. If you can go at a faster speed, I do recommend it because you actually have a better chance at really making that nail nice and even with your e-file. It's just for me where I am with my acrylic game. I like to go slower. Okay, let's try to even this out. Let me get my file after it again. All right, I see here what it's doing. Let me get my okay. There, I think that's pretty good, honestly. Let me get my buffer. I probably need my flat one for this, yeah. Let's use the lighter side. I'm just so not good at doing myself and making it real even. Let's see. Pretty even. It's not real sharp though, is it? Here. Let's try this. Still not even. I don't want to like keep making it so short. Okay, I feel like that's pretty good. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's get our little buffer and finish here. Just kind of come around this corner. Keep it going in the U shape. All right. I'm just doing it real light. Okay. All right. Let's do some nail art on these two fingers. I can't believe that's as far as we got so far with this. Okay, let's get this cleaned up a little bit better. All right. Let me grab my stuff that I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need my blooming gel. Here it is. Okay, so I'm gonna use my blooming gel, which is awful dirty, but okay, I use it all the time. So blooming gel, and I wanna use, I wanna use this pink. I wanna use this orange, so bright colors. Green. Yellow. And blue. So we're gonna keep it really, really bright, okay? Oh, this is another pink I love though too. This pink, we're gonna do this, okay? Okay. So what I'm gonna do first of all, I'm gonna unscrew all of these. So that way they're ready to go. All right, let's do this one first. I'm gonna make sure all this dust is off and it's really still tacky and picking up stuff. Okay, where's my base coat? Base. Here we go. All right, so let's get our base coat on. I feel like there's a hair in there. There we go. Maybe that got it. Okay. All right, base coat. Let's do this one with the base. Okay, let me get those in the nuker for, we'll do 60 seconds because this is a different, this one's a different base coat that I normally use, but it was accessible, so I just grabbed it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the other nails with Valentino and then, then I'll go from there for the rest of the day. I just don't care for this particular system. I don't know. You can try it yourself. You know, it was very affordable. I just bought like the little kit. I just don't, it's really a little bit, it's just strange to me. I'm not in love with it. All right, let's get, I'm just gonna grab this little brush as well. We're gonna apply our blooming gel first, and then we're gonna go in with different, just little layers of these colors, which I think will be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna create a really pretty nail set. Okay, that's been 60, so turn my light off. All right, let's go in with my blooming gel. Just turn it this way. Apply the blooming. Okay. Now let's go in with our hot pink. Let's do our orange. Let's do our blue. Then let's go in with our yellow. Our green. Whoop. And this pink, let me do the thinner with this pink. Let's go. This one's gonna be more kind of throughout in different places. That looks fun, doesn't it? I like that. All right. Let's keep the sides thin here. Okay, let that kind of bloom out. If there's any other colors, I guess, that you want to add, which I think I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of this one, because I feel like with the glitter, it gets a little lost. Which I should have thought about that, huh? I kind of knew it, but I wonder if there's another color I can grab too. Let's see. We'll let that bloom, 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 bloom. Whoop. I just pushed my desk too far out the way here. Okay. I'm looking to see if there's anything easy for me to grab. Kind of not. So we'll just let this do its thing, okay? We're gonna move on to this one. Let's put our blooming gel. I'm so shaky this morning, guys. It might have to do with, so if you know or if you don't know, I have autoimmune disorders, and sometimes when my system is not in the best shape, it'll act up. It will cause me to be shaky. I don't know why. It just does what it does. Okay, let's go ahead and come that way. Let's do our orange. Let's do our green. Our yellow. Let's put a little bit more yellow here. How about that? And then we got to do our hot pink. Okay. All right. So let it bloom, right? Let's wipe this off. Let's go ahead and come down the sides. Just wipe off anything you need to kind of keep it clean. I really like that though. Isn't that pretty? Really pretty colors, huh? Yes, we are testing new products. These actually I've played with a lot because I absolutely love them. Oh, I love that so much. This collection was the Neon collection for June by Madam Glam. It's my favorite collection so far of the year. So far. We still have several months more to go though, right? Okay, let's make sure we keep this brushed up. go ahead and pull this just a little bit more through. Okay. I love how it's coming though. It looks really pretty. It's very 90s, right? I love that. Let me pull. I feel like that's kind of a little thick. I'm gonna pull a little bit more. Oh, let's dip back into our blue, because I liked that blue coming through the orange. Okay. Yeah, that looks really pretty. Okay, let's make sure, get the running here. Okay, let me go in the light with this while I can. While it's at a really good spot. Okay, we only have to go in the light for 30 seconds, but I'm gonna do 60. And only because for some reason my nail lamp, which is also a YoungNails, but I feel like it's not curing as well as it did in the very beginning. So I do 60, even though you only have to do 30 on these. And in my other lamps, I still just do 30. And in the beginning with my YoungNails lamp, I could do 30 and it was perfect. But not lately. I think my next lamp I'm going to do Madam Glam, because I love their products. And yeah, why not? Okay, we're almost done. Okay. All right. So here we have it. Let's get a top coat on this. Where's my top coats? All right. We're going to use Manicure. Oh, wait, that's base. Manicure top is what we're going to use. All right, Manicure top. The tip, just kind of drag it back down nicely. Okay, let me stick my thumb in here. I've been doing so in the very beginning too, I didn't do my thumb separate, like whenever I put it in the nuker. But lately, like I said, I've been having troubles with my lamps. So I have been actually curing the thumb separate than the other fingers. And it does help, because I was, just doing it like I always had. And then a couple weeks ago, I noticed, like, my client stuck her hand in the lamp like we always do, and we cured it for the right amount of time. And most of the other fingers were fine. But when I got to that thumb, it was not nuked all the way. So I've been doing the thumb separate. I've been doing things twice as long, because again, I think it's my nail lamp and I've got to replace it, but I can't afford to right now. So we just do with what we got. Okay, I'm almost done with my thumb. I'm going to do like one finish file too. Okay, let me get this on here. The finish file though, I'm only going to go around the sides. I'm not going to go over the top of the product or anything like that. Just around the sides. Because I'll tell you something else I always do that I notice about myself is that there's one side, it's usually the side that faces me. I'm really bad about not getting that like lifted on that side as well as I do the other side. Let's see here. You know, and I mean, there is a possibility. I'm just kind of surprised that the YoungNails isn't working as well as what I've heard. The YoungNails odorless, I don't love as much as just the regular system. And I'm kind of surprised because I hear so many great things about it. I mean, I don't know if this is a possibility, but maybe that, you know, I got this back at Christmas time and I didn't review it until just now. Now, I wouldn't have thought that that would have changed anything. You know, I don't know if, I mean, it was all sealed up, you know, just like as if it were sitting in their, you know, stock or storage or whatever. But, yeah, I'm just not loving it. It's real tacky. You may have to just give it a whirl yourself and see what you think on this one. And I'm only really saying that because I love YoungNails, so I'm surprised I don't love it. All right, let's get, where is my little wipe? Did I run out of wipey pads? I did, didn't I? Okay, let's get a fresh wipey pad. Because this does have a tacky layer on it that you want to get off. Now, normally I would do like 2 coats of the top coat, but like I said, these aren't staying on, so I'm not going to worry about the 2 top coats. I just need them to stay on for, I'm going to a lunch today, and I wanted them to be good for the lunch, and then tomorrow I'm doing a client set of nails, and I wanted to go ahead and keep them on, you know, for the client set of nails, and then I was going to redo them. Otherwise, I have been really busy this week with, I had a project that's coming up with Madam Glam, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I think you're going to absolutely love it. I know I have loved it, and I've played with it all week long. I can't tell you anything about it yet because it hasn't come out yet, but it's coming out very, very soon. So you guys will get to see kind of what I've been up to all week long when it comes out, which I think is on the 4th. So it's right around the corner, but really excited, you guys, for it because when I saw it, I absolutely loved it. But then when I got to play with it, I loved it even more. What do you think? So I can feel, you see over here, it's just coming over a little bit too far. And over here, it comes over a little bit too far. So that's the only thing I need to fix up once I figure out what I've done with my file. But I will tell you, so since I have autoimmune issues, yeah, I just need to lift this just a bit. Just kind of right through here, it seems like. Okay, that feels much better. All right. So since I have autoimmune issues, if I get busy doing something, and if it kind of requires like more focus and attention than what I have the energy for, and I am making a mess, then I start to crash. So what happened was I worked on this project all week long and was making, you know, some material for it and kind of filming some things for you guys and taking some photos. And by the time I finished, which was on Thursday, I was kind of starting to crash. And like, for example, I normally don't sleep for more than like 4 hours at a time, typically, because I have insomnia issues and stuff. But last night I slept for 10 hours straight. So I went to bed super duper early. I knew I was going to just fall asleep. And I did. There we go. All right. Let me shape up this side just a little bit more. Okay, I like that. Looks good. Just get a little bit more. I want it the tiniest bit thinner. Okay, I think that's real pretty. I like those. Tell me what you think about the nail art. And I know you're going to probably, I took so long with the acrylic and I make it so thin, and then I know I like shape it and then redo it. But that's just what helps me right now and where I am in my acrylic game. So, but if you have any other tips and tricks and whatnot, I do watch Kirsty Meakin a lot because I love watching her and getting, you know, pointers and tips from her. I love her nails. And, you know, if you go back to the Nail days, she's got a ton of material over there as well that is just as fabulous as her current stuff. So I spend a lot of time watching the Nails, watching Nail Career Education because I love her as well. She has great videos. The Salon Life, love her. I get a lot of these are people that I get a lot of information from. I understand them really well when they speak and when they explain things. So I like that. Let's get some, now that I have thoroughly dried out my fingers and my nails over here, let's get some cuticle oil put on there. You know, it still feels, I don't know, I'm just not crazy about this nail stuff here. All right. But I've probably reviewed it enough. You've kind of got the picture of what I think of it. So let's get some cuticle oil on these two nails. And then I'm going to take a short break. Just go get me something to drink, probably some more coffee. And I will probably go ahead and lotion up my hand before I come back and do my other fingers and my other hand. But whenever I do, I'll go live again, so that way you guys can see the whole process and see how different also working with the different products are. Because, so like here we worked with YoungNails YoungNails low odor system. And then when I come back, we'll work with Valentino, Valentino is my go-to for, especially my cover colors, because I love their selection. I love their colors. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, Glitter Bells. I love the way Glitter Bells works. Secret Nail Affair. I love working with their acrylic powder and monomer system. Really, really nice. So this is what we're going to do on this hand today when I come back. And we'll do the rest of the fingers. And we'll do, what else are we going to do? The rest of the fingers. We're going to switch acrylic powder systems and try to do a better job, try to do it faster. And then I'm not sure what I'll do with this hand. I may just keep this one just a nice cover color. That's probably what I'm going to do, because this one is, I'll be working with my non-dominant hand, which just sucks. So that's what we'll do. All right, and I'm going to clean my face up here, go get some coffee, and I'll be back in a little bit. If you guys haven't subbed up, go ahead and sub up. I do a lot of nail vlogs, things like this, where you just kind of watch me work, watch me practice. I'm going to be doing 3 different nail sets tomorrow on clients, and I'll try to get my phone all charged up and everything to get all those shown to you. One of them is going to be a pedicure. And then Sunday, no, I'm sorry, I had it reversed. I keep having it reversed. Sunday, I'm doing the 3 nail sets. Today, I'm doing 1 nail set. It's going to be a natural nail set look. And I don't know if we're going to use gel or just regular nail polish. She likes to use regular nail polish, so we may just do that. If I can talk her into using a gel, which I probably can't, we will do a gel. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the nail art. Do you think I should have done another layer? Because I kind of thought about that, doing another layer of the blooming gel and filling in any of these kind of blank spaces where you can see through the acrylic. But I don't know. I'll kind of wear this and see what I think. And then we'll come back in a little bit. All right. Thank you for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Remember to hit the like button on your way out, and I will catch you very, very soon.